Boop! What's up guys, it's Feeny and welcome to Wild Feeny Weeb. Today we have a fun video planned and it is another unboxing and mini review of this character from like this very niche and obscure anime. You guys might have not heard about it, not that well known, but it is Asuka Langley from Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 17 scale by Revolve. Never heard of her, have you? I hope my sarcasm translates well. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this is one of my most anticipated figures, and she had a lot of delays, so I'm very happy to finally have her in my possession. And now this is actually my first Evangelion figure in my whole collection. So if you guys also like this character or you're just curious about this unboxing, continue watching. And if you haven't already, maybe you'd like to consider subscribing, leaving a like, leaving a comment, you know, helping your sister weeb out. I would really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's jump on in. Whee! Alright, this figure was originally slated for a January 2022 release, but was delayed until May 13th. Miss Asuka was purchased from Ami Ami, obviously, of her original retail price of a little over 14k yen, so like a little under 110 USD. I got pretty lucky with shipping prices this time around, with both EMS and DHL being pretty comparable, but I decided to go with DHL for a little bit over 4,600 yen. And weirdly enough, shipping took almost 2 weeks with this DHL package, which is not normal. Usually it takes like 2 days. Obviously, much more important things going on in the world, but just thought I'd let y'all know. And Ami Ami, as per usual, does a fantastic job packaging with the cutest little illustration cards. It's just the extra added little touch that makes the experience all that more wonderful. Now, she was a little bit of a snug fit in her box, but honestly, I'm glad that Ami Ami got her into the 100 so it could save me a little bit of money. And they did an excellent job with the little tissue wrapping. It's always a nice feeling to know that you are the first owner of a figure, you know? But underneath the tissue revealed the most wonderful box. Oh my god, Revolve, you kicked it out of the park with this product design. I really like how the colors match her new plug suit, and the straight lines really have a modern aesthetic, matches Evangelion to a T. There's really good photos of the figure all the way around, as well as having a nice big window in the front. Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better presentation of my figure. And I don't have usable footage of me opening Asuka from her blister. I didn't think my phone would pick up literally every noise. I live on the 13th floor, but yeah. So yeah, that leaf blower. I started filming at 11 a.m. and I did not stop till 6 p.m. I'm not triggered. I'm fine. It's totally okay. Screw me, right? But thankfully there really wasn't much more. There was this nice red lining. I mean orange, red, orange, whatever. Inside the box, nice little extra added touch, and the blister itself was very simple, very sturdy. Nothing came broken, and she was very well protected. And with all that information out of the way, let's get a closer look at this tsundere queen. I was quite surprised that there was only 2 items in the box, a fully assembled base and Asuka's figure. There were no instructions, but I believe that was intentional. The base is very light with lots of nice paint finishes and textures, with the red rubble being pretty glossy and the steel bent beams having this gritty, matte paint finish with lots of shading to make it look worn over time. There are some nice metal foot pegs and a foot indentation that makes it easier to put Asuka on. I wish this was not over a plain black base, but I'm just being nitpicky, I guess. Now, even though the steel bent beams are very light, they are incredibly sharp, so be wary when placing this figure next to another one. It might scratch and paint transfer. There is the most beautiful red metallic paint finish on the bottom soles of her feet, as well as a sculpted texture. It's so pretty. I wish more companies would utilize that paint finish. But putting her on her base, I put heel, toe. There's 2 holes and 2 pegs on one of her feet, and the other one is just one. Now this is nerve-wracking, but you are meant to pull the opposite leg forward. There's a metal peg that the tip of her foot is supposed to slot into. And even though it feels wrong, it is right. I double checked on MFC and the official website, and they wanted that extra added tension. But damn, does that white plug suit look so beautiful against that red base. The fine details of the base alone really elevate the figure, as well as bringing the atmosphere from the movie to life. Even though you can't see the bottom of her feet that well, it is really nice to see a little glimpse of the metallic red with her lifted up heel. Moving on to the body, there is a beautifully sculpted silhouette that is faithful to Asuka's character, as well as having a variety of paint finishes and paint textures just like the base. The legs have a more satin paint finish, with the ergonomic seam lines being hyper glossy. There's a beautiful use of light blue airbrushing for the backs of her knees, on her knees, underneath her bust, and various points of the white plug suit to make it pop and add some dimension. Now her torso is one of the most impressive and also surprising parts about the figure. The white part is actually a matte paint finish, with her bust cups being hyper glossy. I really appreciate the fabric folds at the bend of her waist. It definitely drives home the fact that this is a very, very, very tight garment. The line work and paint work is incredibly clean. There's no blurriness, there's no fading, and I'm always happy to see that red metallic paint finish. I love how it wraps from underneath her bust all the way around underneath her armpit. Honestly, it is so impressive to see how they hid the seam lines. I just love the flow of her plug suit and how there's no side seams. And now to the piece of resistance, the face and hair. Oh, this face is amazingly accurate, and I love all the attitude, like the tilted head, I'm better than you. It could not be better and match more perfectly to Asuka. The hair sculpt is magnificent. Oh my gosh, all those individually sculpted strands and even more sculpted strands within those sculpted strands. It's hair sculptception. Her signature hair clips are wonderfully red and wonderfully glossy, and she has a really nice side profile, nice and pointy so you can see it from the side view as well as a frontal view. Honestly, I'm having a real hard time being nitpicky on this figure. To me, this figure is absolute perfection. If I didn't know this character, I feel like this sculpt, this figure, does a perfect job representing who Asuka is. If I had to force myself and be nitpicky, I would just wish that there was a little bit more darker shading in her lighter hair, and maybe the black base would have been red or clear, but those are literally the only 2 tiny things. There's so much to love about this figure, everything from her reasonable price point to her 1/7 scale size. I mean, on her plug suit alone, there's a metallic paint finish, there's a glossy paint finish, there's a matte paint finish, there's a satin paint finish. Everything I could ever want in the most solid paint job of any scale. Her face is accurate, the hair is beautiful, adds a lot of movement to a more static pose, and just the whole vibe embodies Asuka. To me, Revolve really played homage to the end of a franchise, end of an era, end of Evangelion. Okay, not that Evangelion. We don't talk about that Evangelion. Now, I know there's an overwhelming amount of Asuka scales to choose from the market, and this may be my first Eva figure and Asuka figure, but I've done a ton of research, and from what I have in hand with this scale, as well as looking at other photos of other scales online, I can honestly say she is totally worth a pickup, and if y'all are Asuka simps or Asuka stans, I really recommend this, just adding this masterpiece to your collection. Now, the real question I have for you, Revolve, is When y'all gonna make a Kaoru scale, please? My golden baby boy. I'm desperate. Anyway, the review portion of this video is over, and I will list down below in the description box of places where you can still purchase her. Now, a message from past Feeny. Hey guys, just popping in to say goodbye and also apologize from all the loud noise outside when I'm trying to film. This is the only time I have to actually film, and it just so happens that the one time I try to film during the week, everyone's just having a party outside with their leaf blower. Because screw me, right? Anyway, thank you guys so much for your time. It's really appreciated. Let me know what you think about this figure, if you're gonna pick her up, and who your favorite character from Evangelion is. I would freaking love to know. I'm sure it's Pen Pen. It has to be Pen Pen. I think the next video that's gonna come up is my holy grails of anime figures. So if you guys are into that, please stick around. And I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your week. Until we meet again, goodbye.